Welcome, football officials, to our Week 3 Football Officials Education video series for the 2024 season. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time last week to watch the video. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated. Let's get into our Week 3 videos and plays for this week. First play this week, we're going to talk about a safety foul, specifically a chop block. And we want to really be focused and work hard to get 100% of these fouls because of the high risk they pose to the safety of players. And on this play, we have a safety foul called a chop block. And that's under Rule 238. And basically, a chop block is when we have a combination block of a blocker high, a blocker low. It does not have to be simultaneous. And those two blockers block on one player on the defense, in this case, causing a chop block. And it poses a risk of injury to that player. So in this play, we're going to watch the center and the tight end, number 44 there on the right, is going to combine together to have a high-low block, which would be a chop block. Now, the other question here is who could get this? Specifically, we're going to look at that we have all 11 players inside of the blocking area, no wideout, so to speak. And so all our focus of all our officials should be in this area. And we can see the tight end there, number 44, go low. And so the wing official on that side should have a clear view of this block and should be able to see that player go low. So that should kind of, should be looking at that blocker. The other part about this is you can see that it is the center that comes across and does the high-low, which is more where the umpire would be focused on the center and the two guards, so he may see that action. But the reality here is because of we have all the play and all the action happening right here in the middle of the screen, and there's no players that wide. There's no other things to look at, so to speak, as far as outside this screen view. So we really got to be looking for these blocks. We know that this formation, is typically a run formation, so we need to be looking for run blocking and read that, and we need to get these safety fouls to prevent injury to players. As we take a second look at this play from the sideline camera view, we can see, the arrow indicates there that the line judge on this side of the field has a pretty clear view of that blocker, the tight end. And that's why it's probably the primary for that official to be able to see this player going across and blocking. Not that prevents any other official from not seeing this or flagging this, but we really need to get focused on this type of action because of the safety foul that a chop block proposes. And like I said, we want to work hard to get these safety fouls and these chop blocks when we see them on the field. Next play here, we're going to focus on the holder who receives a snap on an extra point try, and then he flips the ball back to the kicker, who then throws the ball for a 2-point conversion. And let's remember under Rule 422, dead ball and end of the down, the ball only remains live if the holder rises to advance, hand, kick, or pass. So if he stays on the ground when he makes this play, this is a dead ball. He must rise to pitch the ball back or continue the play. Play here, or formation, is a great play to talk about two specific things on the play. We're going to come back to the snapper inside a highlighted circle in a minute. So first of all, we have an extra point or a scrimmage kick. And so the question here is, can they use the numbering exception here? Meaning they don't have the legal numbers 50 through 79 on the line of scrimmage. And the answer is yes, they can use the numbering exception because the rule states that they have to have a holder in place with their knee on the ground to receive the snap 7 or more yards back. And then they have to have another player in position to make the kick who has to be 3 yards or less. And we see that holder and kicker behind the snapper. So let's get into what the snapper does on this play specifically. So let's read what a legal snap is. As we get into the play, the snap begins when the snapper first moves the ball legally, other than an adjustment. In a snap, the movement must be quick and continuous. Quick and continuous is the key there. Backward motion of the ball during which the ball immediately leaves the hands of the snapper and touches a back or the ground before it touches a lineman. So the snap has to be quick and continuous and must immediately leave the snapper's hands. And so let's get focused on the snapper here as he makes the snap. So the question is that a legal snap? So I can tell you it probably will catch you off guard if it happens. And you may think about it after the play and say, was that a legal snap? So we're going to use this play so that we're ready when this happens during the rest of the season, especially when we see formations like this. So the snapper does not have to snap the ball back between his legs. He can snap it like this. But again, it has to be quick and continuous. And as we watch the play here a couple times, we're going to see that the snapper lifts the ball off the ground, maybe 12 to 18 inches. He lifts the ball and then he passes the ball backwards to the back. The part that is illegal here is him lifting the ball. Like I said, it will probably catch you off guard when it happens. So we're going to utilize this play right here to get us ready for the rest of the season if this happens. He has to make this, as it says in the rule, quick and continuous. But you can see right here how he's basically picking the ball off and making a pass backwards, which I would not see as quick and continuous. So this would be an illegal snap. We would flag this as a dead ball. Play is a kickoff or a free kick, and our focus will be on the umpire. But the emphasis here is on all officials that we officiate our area of responsibility and know our duties on a kickoff. So we see the ball come down here and received about in the middle of the field, right there around the 23-yard line. It's between the hash marks. So the primary responsibility would be the referee, and the referee would also have the clock. We can see the umpire here right around the 24-yard line winding the clock. So the question is the umpire focused on the runner who has no one near them for about 12, 13 yards because he's winding the clock? I'm not sure, but the umpire needs to have his focus on the potential blocks that are getting ready to occur in between the 30 and 35-yard line. And as this play develops, we're going to see a block occur right around the 31-yard line on the umpire's side. Now, there are two officials in position to see this. The umpire and the line judge are in pretty good position to observe this. As the play goes away from those two officials, they start to look at the backside of the play to clean things up and to look for the action that we're about to observe. Well, the other three officials, the referee, the head linesman, and the back judge in this play will look where the ball, the direction is going. So right here inside the highlighted circle, we're going to see a block by the player in blue, and you can see he reaches up behind, grabs him, and it certainly looks like he pulls him down. So we potentially have a takedown on this play. And we want to flag the takedown holds. We always talk about point of attack, but when we have a takedown, things can escalate. When a player gets taken down, they can get upset about that, and we could have potentially a problem or retaliation later. So by flagging this, we can do preventive officiating and game management. And we want to see this block to make sure it's legal. This is about the only block that occurs on the side of this field, the near side. So one of the two officials, the line judge or the umpire, should specifically see this block to ensure it was legal. And in this case, I don't know if they did see it or didn't see it, but this should be a flag to prevent this type of action on a play because, like I said, this could escalate to problems later on in the game. So be observant on your areas of responsibility. Make sure we're officiating, covering, the backside of the play for things like this. So that we can get these things and do great preventive officiating and game management to reduce the risk of things escalating to the point where we have other issues during the game. Let's play here. We have two great points to make. First of all, it looks like these chains are inside our 2-yard restricted zone. We need to get it moved back to that restricted line. One, for the safety of the official. The headline has been working on that side. Two, to clear the sidelines. Move this chain crew back to there for your safety and also to give you room to officiate. And if we have to, we move the player and the player personnel on the sideline back to get those chains back so that we don't have the chains right up on the backside of the official, the head linesman in this case. They look to be very close to the sideline. So, get that team back and then get those chains back and instruct your chain crew to work back on that line for your safety and also their safety. And you will have a much cleaner restricted zone to work and be less things impeding you during the play. For this play, we're going to focus on the quarterback I have highlighted inside the circle, and we're going to watch the second receiver from the head linesman side go in motion. And then we're going to see the quarterback here. Does he hand it or does he toss it forward? So do we have a fumble or do we have an incomplete pass? But first of all, let's talk about the head line judge and the referee on this play giving great dead ball signals. That's very important on the play because we need to know when to start the play clock. So great job there. So let's come back to whether the quarterback handed it directly hand to hand to the wideout or did he pitch it forward, which would be a pass. And the difference is we'd have a fumble or an incomplete pass. Now, this is a little bit challenging here because we get a little bit obstructed right here by number 12. So you've got to be in position and ready to see this and rule on this clearly, make a decision whether he pitched it forward, which would be, no hand-to-hand contact. Basically, it would be there was some, the ball was in the air for momentary. That would be an incomplete pass. If he handed it hand-to-hand, then yes, we would have a fumble. So the important thing here is be in position, be ready for this, and be able to rule on it and make a decision when it happens. On the field here, we have a beanbag, so it looks like they ruled a fumble. We have another kicking play. We have an onside kick. And so the two most important lines on an onside kick are the K restraining line and the R restraining line. Those are important lines for the officials to focus on. We need to know, does the ball cross R's line? Was there blocking by K before R's line, or did R initiate that block and so forth? So there's a lot of action that takes place on these plays, and that's why we move our officials up into position to have two officials on K's line and have two officials on R's line. So we see the two lines here marked, the 40 and the 50 on this case. And so we need to have our officials in place to be able to observe all this action because, as we know, if we've observed an onside kick, it can be a little bit chaotic if we don't have everyone in position to be able to officiate it. We have a lot to look at, a lot to rule on, and it will determine, who receives the ball, if there was any penalties committed, and so forth. So let's get into the kick. Okay, we can see we have highlighted inside the circle the four officials, and I do see, we have two on K line, and then we have one on the R line on the far side of the field, but we do have another official down here at 40. I'm not sure if this is a crew decision. I'm not sure if this official was instructed to be on that yard line, but we want that official to be up at the 50 so that we have two officials on K's line and two officials on R's line so that we have four officials, four sets of eyes watching all the action that is about to take place on this play so that we can, hopefully see everything clearly and be able to rule on it. So it would be best to move the official that's on the 40 up to the 50-yard line again. So, okay. So in this case, we're going to focus on the ball and we're going to have a pop-up kick. So what is a pop-up kick? Pop-up kick is a dead ball foul where the ball is driven off the tee immediately into the ground. As you can see here, the kicker drives the ball immediately in the ground, and we have a flag here from the official, which I believe is the back judge, on the 40-yard line. Now, ideally, we would like to shut this play down a little quicker, but the key here is we did get the flag appropriate for the pop-up kick. And the reason why we want to get it shut down as quickly as we can is because they consider a pop-up kick to be a safety situation because that ball could go up in the air. The player's focus is on receiving the ball, and that player could get hit. But great job here of recognizing this pop-up kick. Great job of flagging it. Ideally, like I said, we want to try to get this shut down as quickly as we can so that we can prevent any of that contact from occurring unnecessarily. And so great job here, though. Be ready for these types of kicks, especially on a onside kick attempt. Final play this week, we're going to talk about mechanics. We're going to focus on the head linesman that I've highlighted inside the gold circle. And we're going to talk about a pre-snap foul that he has. He throws his flag and he comes hustling in. This is quality mechanics. This is a great job here. When we have these pre-snap fouls that we want to stop the play, shut the play down, this is the mechanics we want to demonstrate because we're going to see how the head linesman throws his flag, comes hustling in, reports the foul, kills use the stops the clock signal. And this is a great job here. This is how we want it done right here. Flag out, throws it up in the air, comes hustling in, stopping the clock to report the foul. Now, remember, we do use radios here in North Carolina. We can utilize the radio in this, but still, this is a great job, as you can see, how we have a pre-snap foul. We throw the flag, come hustling in, using the stop the clock signal. Great job. This is how we want to do because we don't want this play to get off. We don't want the players to think that the play is live and then we have to come back and shut it down. We want to shut it down immediately like the head linesman does on this play. And thank you everyone for taking the time to watch this video. I hope the information contained in this video is helpful to you and you can utilize in your games. Until next week's video, take care and have a great game.